Tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance? Did you make it to the it's overrated? Tell me, for a shooting star, permanent, you miss me. You were looking for Hey, good morning. Good morning. 6:32. How's my dogs out there? It is August 27th, Thursday. If you're not in the mountains or on the beach, hopefully you're in your seat, prepared and making some good decisions, some strong decisions. That's all you could do. You know, right decision at the right time for today, for yesterday, for tomorrow, not for last week. Forgive yourself if you made some mistakes and move on. Stay in rhythm. You got to stay in rhythm with this market. Otherwise, you might as well just take a little break and be off the desk and enjoy yourself. But if you're in rhythm, there's some decent things going on. If you look here at the chart of the SPYs, you can see how we had this inside range. As quiet as things were, people were on hold waiting to see what would Nvidia do, what would the semis do. Actually what we'll wash through tomorrow. So if you over traded, you were pulling your hair out. If you gave things room, chances are you're feeling pretty good. Either way, SPYs right now are up 30 handles. The S&P cash, S&P cash. So SPYs are up 282. Still not like running away, but above 767. So the question today is, does it hold and build to see 772 or not? At this point, let me just say hello to some of my doggies out there. What up, Joey? What up, Tobias? What up, Larry? Good morning, NP. Good morning, Ken. Hope everyone's feeling good. I assume you're along the SPY from yesterday afternoon. How do you keep stock like that overnight? I've been doing this for 30 years. I could have some risk on. I'm not a day trader. What I've said to a lot of guys out there, as you evolve through the process of being a market participant, your risk tolerance changes. So I actually have six accounts, which I go over with my financial roadmap, which I'm not going to get into now. But for me, I treat myself as a mini portfolio manager that has a lot of buying power, and I want to allocate that buying power, based on market conditions in certain sectors, based on relative strength and positions, based on whether they're special, based on whether they're above the 21 day, depending on what's happening. But anyway, for today, we'll see again. Do we hold 767 to see 772, or do we open up and fade all day? That's the question. Q's very similar. Q's, look at that wedge. Yesterday I spoke to you guys about this wedge, and obviously it didn't do it intraday. You could have been sitting at your seat last night when Jensen said that 2028 is going to be 70%. Guidance raise, when the street thought it was going to be 45%, and that's what ignited the market after hours. Listen, this market's going to be trading a lot more than just 9:30 to 4. It already does. Pre-market, post-market. You have all these ways to navigate now, and you just got to figure out how you want to participate. So anyway, the Qs right now, what are the Qs doing? The Qs are opening above there at 718, kind of no man's land. Above 714, below the gap pivot. That's probably where there's room to if it wants. And we'll see what happens with we'll see what happens with Nvidia. Nvidia is only back to where it was last Monday. There are 12 upgrades this morning. 12. So the question is, will Nvidia open up and will they sell it down and fade all morning, or will it open up and give people an opportunity if they didn't buy it last night or they're not in options? Remember, I told you guys to do a call spread yesterday, 215s by 225s, and hopefully it holds above 225 and you max out, and you can make 300-400%. But anyway, question is, will Nvidia open up? It's up 14 points. It's at 224. So it's above 222. It's below 227. Will it open up and fade all day? Or will it open up? Will it give you a level to trade against where you could buy the shares if you were waiting, give you a good gap pivot? Remember, we talk about gap pivots. And can that turn into a swing long to then take out 227 and then at some point 232 to 236? So that, again, multiple plans in your head. What's going to happen? I know for me, yesterday was a great trade in the memory names. I was sitting here. I said, listen, memory names are opening lower. I'm going to be a buyer of SNXX. SanDisk has been acting better than MU, and overall the pattern is building pretty decently. And if you look at SanDisk yesterday, SanDisk held the lower area, held the 416, and made a little bit of a higher low. So I on a summer August Sunday, SNXX was down 60 cents, went green, made good money, and I took it home long, and I just trimmed some. So that's up 8%. It's a nice move. You could have won with MU. MU was pretty good too. MU actually looked a little bit better. Was kind of wedging here too. And now it's above 946. And question is, will MU open up and fade all day too? You don't know. So that's really the question. If you're coming in with risk down, are any of these things buyable? In the first half hour to be higher in the last half hour. That's what we're gonna have to figure out by using our vision, watching how things trade, knowing our levels, and being prepared. You appreciate me? That's cool. I appreciate you too. Thanks for tuning in. And I do appreciate a lot of you guys who have subscribed to Red Dog Mindset. I know there has been a 20, there's been no 25-20 this week because Conrad, I got him a week vacation at in Delaware since he's been so good. If you happen to be running a business, take care of your employees. If you go to a restaurant, make sure you extra tip. So anyway, I sent Conrad and his girlfriend and family to Delaware. So I have no one to stream the 25-20. So I've been working on myself, and hopefully everyone's keeping their routine. But the 6:30 Club is here, and we'll be doing a whiteboard weekend as well as Ask Me Anything in September. So if you want to stay engaged with the 6:30 Club and you're not a member of Red Dog Mindset, you should subscribe above. And if you're an Alpha member team, you'll never lose access. So anyway, it would be really nice if Nvidia could hold up there. So MU was also a good trade yesterday. MU went green. MU was actually a little stronger than SanDisk yesterday. They take turns with their relative strength. So the question is, are these things finally going to be better, besides just choppy? Well, this is filling the gap right here. That's already 958. We'll see. We'll see. I do not think the cycle is over. But again, if entries and exits matter, it already blew out kind of this right shoulder. Remember that nice trade? And all it really did is retest that 887. So, and it's late August, etc. You changed your thesis about Nvidia and went long. All right, good for you. There you go, Scott. We should all go to Delaware and get some crab cakes. I do like a good crab cake. Maryland. I've had a lot of Maryland crab cakes. Going with my son Chase. For tournaments. Someone said that CRM was better. Yeah, CRM was really good. CRM, you had time. CRM just filled this gap. Remember this gap? I was actually talking to the guy on Spaces. I'm like, why don't you do a call spread into the earnings? Anyways, we'll see what happens after. Right now, our 228 filled the gap. Nice move. Nice move for some of these software names. So listen, there's a lot of action out there. If you're complaining, if you're over trading, no one cares and no one's going to listen. If you're going to make small moves and keep moving your feet and stacking some days and netting money, it could be done. It's just not as easy at certain points. Okta says a gap setup. Let's see what's that doing. I haven't looked. This had a nice move, came in. Where's Okta trading right now? Is it above that spot? Okta up 26. So Okta is actually taking out the highs. Right, this is 156 is opening above there, so you want to make sure it stays above there. Yeah, and then you'll have it's pretty good, an opening gap above a prior double top. Not so bad. What people ask me about Bitcoin. I told you guys I think Bitcoin continues and the Bitcoin derivatives. Where is it right now? It is 79. All right, look at that, hanging in there. Bitcoin is hanging in there. Can't be upset about the way Bitcoin is trading, and you can't be upset the way the stocks that correlate to Bitcoin that woke up. That's why I told you they have to move up the list. On Monday or Tuesday, I was telling you, bring that list up of names that are acting better. Okay, what are those names? CRCL. Okay, nice bull flag, right? Looks like it's going to take out 93 and see higher prices, 136. Okay. This new name I was telling you guys, Per. I actually am long it. A lot of friends trade all weekend long on hyperliquid strategies. It's opening above 1210. I just trimmed a little bit. What a big move. This stock should be on your radar, probably continues. Can you buy it today? I'm not sure. I am in it. I've already trimmed a little bit, but hyperliquid. Then you got coin been trading better. Look at that bull flag. Will this get above 191 today? Some guys got long on the red dog reversal down there. So I actually, in my note, I do write a note. I write a note every morning. That's one before 4:45, and I put together a new group of stocks that could be in play and be better to trade as crypto acts better. These stocks were horrible 3 months ago, but then when crypto ignited and Bitcoin went over 67,000 and had a powerful move through the 200 day, that created a new group of stocks that could make you money, that could act better. So coins acting better probably is going to take a move at the 200 day. Robinhood acting better. Big move probably continues. So you have to basically change and put stocks in and take stocks out. SpaceX, I made a lot of money yesterday in SpaceX. I told you guys I think SpaceX is a name you got to get to know, a name that's trading better, a name that's been forgiving. What do I mean by that? I mean, I started, I've been long it all week, and every time it goes lower, it's been holding. It's been giving me a way to buy more, trade it, buy more, trade it. So anyway, I sold some puts. I'm in the stock, and I do think that this is going to be on its way to 149, 155, and then from there it could even go higher. So I spoke about this the last few days with you guys. Hopefully you're trading SpaceX. It's doing better. Galaxy is probably a good one also. I haven't looked at that one in a while. What does Galaxy look like for crypto names? Galaxy Digital. Yeah, look at that. A lot of these things are going to try and take back their 200 day. And if they do get above their 200 day successfully, then you could stay with it. Definitely. Joey Ad says alerts are really important for my trading. That's cool. I'm so damn prepared that I don't need alerts. I know what's moving. I have 6 sets, but you should have alerts. You should have alerts where your stops are, alerts, buy alerts, and you can even program things to buy things for you, with your AI buddies and your sidekick. TrendSpider has a really good sidekick. Marvell, I think, comes out today after the close. It's acting really well. It's up already this morning. So Marvell is giving you a move without having to take it into numbers. Should see 271-ish, and then this is 324. That's above. Yes. So Marvell is up as well. It's up 11. It's a 256. Okay. So, if you happen to be in a pre-earnings, see, sometimes if you buy for a pre-earnings move, you get paid. I was in a little too much Nvidia early where, all you had to do is wait for the day before. But anyway, it is what it is. It's August 27th. Every day above ground is a good day. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't let little things, irk you. Again, it'll be nice if Nvidia could actually open up at 224 and change, digest a bit, and then trade higher. But we'll see. We'll see what today brings, and then we'll be able to judge trades thereafter. Remember, Warsh is tomorrow. Jackson Hole is tomorrow. But again, if you're around, there's been stuff to do, and things come into play, things come out of play. Some people are like, well, Red Dog Mag 7 is horrible. Yeah, only a few times a year are those stocks good, and this is not one of them. This is definitely not one of those times. Google's been a pain in the ass. If you're trading Google, it's a pain in the it's a pain in the culo, and it's below all the moving average. If you're trading Amazon, it's a pain in the culo. It's hanging by a thread here. So if so again, you have to know when it's good and when you need to either be a very micro or give it a lot of room, so you don't overtrade it. Scott, are you watching AMD since Nvidia had great earnings? Not really. I have I'm in some of the memory names, and I'm in Nvidia. I don't need to trade AMD, but AMD's acting better. AMD's real tight. Look how tight this is. Going sideways. I don't need to be everywhere. The semis have been hard enough, but it does look like it's probably going to gap above this. Let's see, is it up with AMD, or is it? With Nvidia, or it's up 640, not a whole hell of a lot. 487. What's this high here? That's 570. There's some room. There is definitely room. This high here is 584. It's kind of above the moving averages. The question is, will it hold and go or not? This is 514, so there is room. But you have the right idea. You want to look at the group if you're trading the group. Does Nvidia hold and go higher, or will it fade all morning? If Nvidia fades all morning, chances are so will AMD. If Nvidia holds and goes, maybe it'll give some confidence that this overall huge consolidation pattern could yield bigger results. Dell's been acting very well. Dell woke up yesterday also. As strong as Dell's been pretty hard though. You've had to like buy versus levels. It actually finally broke out and then had to pull back. But it's trending along. If you sold when it broke 485, you were able to buy when it took back the moving averages. How busy are you? So and how much? So it's like how active are you? So that's how loose you need to be. My thoughts on AAOI. I really don't trade that one, but I'll look at a few. Yeah, kind of broken. Gap down. This not showing me anything right here, to be honest. Someone else said, "What? Why am I in CCXI?" It's just a little robotic SPAC name. Some people really love this for the second half of the year, for the fall. So I figured I didn't chase it up here. I could buy it down there, and perhaps it wants to fill that. Robotic names are doing better. So this could take off whenever it wants to take off. So that's fine. Gold. I sold all my gold. I didn't. I was almost ready to rebuy it back, to be honest, and I just didn't do it yesterday. I was too caught up in other things. But if you remember, we were buying the 385s, and then I rolled up options all the way, and I got rid of my GLD 410s, into this strength, and I'd like to be able to buy the 430s for maybe September 18th. I just didn't quite do it yesterday. What's it doing this morning? Gold's up a little bit. Actually, it's not. So I'm going to probably buy a set of September, 18 calls. I'd love to see this go into the 8-day and then buy the 430s and roll them up one more time. Hopefully, you've already bought the 385s and made money on those, the 400s and 410s. We did 3 different sets of gold calls. They were awesome. We even had a power play for GLD. So gold's been a really nice sequence. You catch a sequence like this, that could make you month and make you quarter. So hopefully we'll see a better sequence in the semis. We'll see some better action. But, at this point, I have multiple plans, and I'm going to let the market tell me what to do. Someone said, what am I going to do with my 230 calls that I told everyone to buy? I don't know. I don't know what the premium's going to be. I did add to some at $1. I have way too many of them. It'd be nice if this could push and, it could salvage some, maybe make a little bit, and then figure out what Nvidia does to base the rest of the week and next week on. If it opens up and fades all day, chances are it's going to be a noisy mess. If it opens up, gives you a gap pivot and pushes, chances are maybe there'll be some power momentum, and next week it'll be taken out 232 to 236. But at this point, you don't know what kind of Nvidia we're going to have. Feels like it's been for sale for a week and a half. It's been a pain in the butt, but today will give us a little bit more clarity. Tesla, Tesla's been a little annoying, to be honest. I'll leave you with Tesla. It tried to hold this bottom end of this ascending channel here. SpaceX has been much better to trade, to be honest. This is probably up a little bit, you would assume, right? What's Tesla doing this morning? It's up $1.20, not doing a whole hell of a lot. Tesla's a broken name. Very, very, very broken. Tried to have a decent move. It kind of broke below it. I guess you could say, hey, you know what? You want to give it to here. That's your new stop, and you think it's going to go sideways and continue. Well, that's fine. This is, oh, by the way, this is a good song. My wife went to see Bruno Mars last night. Here, hold on. Anyhow, I like Bruno Mars. So if you are in Tesla, it's not special. But if I were to frame the trade for you, you could be long versus yesterday's low, 342. Maybe it goes sideways and then continues this march off the lows, kind of like Netflix did post earnings. I'm not in it right now. Maybe I'll look at it. So that's the way I would frame this stream. Maybe it wants to go sideways and digest this move off the lows. But if it were to break this, I'd be out of the way. And as I said before, I'll leave you with SpaceX. I think SpaceX is trading much better. A lot more forgiving. Lot more forgiving. Every time it's been trading lower, I've been selling some puts. It's time to do some push-ups. All right, well, go do some push-ups, some pull-ups. Yeah, do some pull-ups. Pull-ups are harder than push-ups. You know, uh, if someone said to me the other day, like, what do you think your kids should do? Push-ups or pull-ups? First, you should do both. But I would say learn how to do pull-ups. They're a lot harder than push-ups. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. It's 6:52. Have a great day. It's Thursday. I will be doing a 6:30 club tomorrow. Yes, Red Dog will do a 6:30 club tomorrow. Usually it's only Monday through Thursday. Same with the 25/20. But I did say if a certain amount of people subscribe to the Red Dog Mindset, I'll start doing the 6:30 club on Fridays. So if you want the 6:30 club on Fridays, also besides Monday through Thursday, subscribe to the Red Dog Mindset. It's not $1,000 a month or $150. It's $10 a month. This was $505 this morning for the day. So for $10 for the month, you'll never lose the 6:30 club. You'll get Fridays also on top of Monday through Thursday. You'll be able to exercise with me in the morning. You don't even need a sauna. No sauna, no problem. But 20 to 30 minutes with me in the morning where we're listening to music. I'm working out. I'm talking life. I'm talking some stocks. And then on the weekends, I try and feed your brain a little bit with things that could make you think and things that could make you become a little bit of a better version of yourself. So then you could have better perspective on things that you want to do. So anyway, I will be here tomorrow. So tune in. If you tune in and you're not a member, you know what? The universe will know. Anyway, if you can clean yourself up by picking up a piece of garbage. If you want to be a member of Red Dog Mindset, then just pick up a piece of garbage every day, and you'll clean up your karma from taking advantage of situations. All right, guys, I got to jump. I got 40 charts to do with the Alpha team. Going to see how today plays out. It'd be nice if things go a little bit better than they've been, because the last week and change has been tough. And once again, the spies are getting above this 767. Will it hold? Can it see 772? We shall see. There is a void here. But lately, we've had some things going on where the market could have gone higher and it hasn't. So hopefully that changes. The TLT, came off lows and market really didn't care. Got out of that danger zone. When the Fed came out and said they were going to buy more, treasuries. Oil came a lot lower. Into down here, not a lot lower, but lower, and the market didn't really care. But maybe it's just because it's August. Most humans are on the beach or in the mountains, not like us workhorses, which is what I call myself, a work dog. Anyway, but I'm a working dog for you guys. I'm just a normal guy having my iced coffee, listening to little Bruno Mars doing 40 charts, and hopefully we'll make some good decisions today. That's all you can do is make the right decision at the right time based on what you see in front of you. Forgive yourself too if you happen to make a wrong decision here and there. Don't beat yourself up. Doesn't do anyone any good. Just learn from it. And I'll see you in a bit. I'll leave you with this song. It's pretty good.